Good morning and warm welcome to this week's edition of The Dialogue on Soul TV. My name is Prince Apollo. Welcome to the big show. We look back at the big events in the week. We reflect on those matters of national importance. And the week has been very busy in politics as the Kawempe North by-election heats up. The nominations were concluded, but also there were issues of arrests, issues of confrontations between the police and supporters of opposition politicians. But we will this morning look at the process holistically and in the context of the 2026 elections. Welcome to the show this morning. Dr. Gerard Uwerihe Wansara, a public policy researcher, is with us this morning. Richard Baguma, a communication expert, but also a commentator on political and social issues. We will also be joined by a special guest to discuss these and other matters. But like I said, it's all about the just concluded nominations for the Kawempe by-elections. We cannot fail to talk about this. As opposition politicians, Elias Luimbazi was being arrested immediately after nominations, but also the comedy that was in that nomination process. We ask if these are signals of what will happen in 2026. Dr. Gerard Uwerihe Wansara speak to our viewers, and we kick off the big show.
Let me start by greeting you, Apple, and thanks for maintaining the smartness in
Thank
the
you.
studio.
Mm.
And my colleague on the right, my senior Richard, happy to see you. And of course, our esteemed viewers, we are happy to be with you every Saturday. Last week, I was engaged out of town.
Sure.
I missed it, my viewers, but today we are here for the 2 hours.
How is Chirinya?
Chirinya is okay. Actually, you should respect it. I call it the United Republic.
Yeah, true.
There's a reason why I called it United Republic, because it's so much cosmopolitan. It is a true representation of Uganda.
Sure.
With almost all the tribes. Richard, we are fighting the road safety battles, but they also seem to fight back. I'm happy that Kawempe is back, chasing after people who drink and speed and crash others on the road. Unfortunately, you find, I'm told people have made WhatsApp groups to inform each other of where the Kawempe people are. So you are drunk on WhatsApp texting, hey, they are here to try to dodge. So you want to crash elsewhere. I think this is a sense of self-responsibility. We have families, we have people we love, we have friends. Please, let's care about them. Let's avoid drinking and driving careless and crashing people on the road.
Sure. Thank you so much, Dr. Gerard Uwerihe Wansara. He is also an associate lecturer at Uganda Management Institute. Richard, speak to our viewers.
The Almighty, as always, first.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to thank God for all of us. Despite what is happening, we still are here, safe and stable for many of us. Some of us earn a little bit more than 1 million shillings. So the president knew us, the ones who earn less than 1 million. He didn't know that they existed. Yeah.
That for 60 years, I would never
Yeah. So, of course, the management, this and our viewers, thank you very much for hosting us consistently and pulling this off. I was a talk show host for a while. I know what it takes.
Sure.
And of course, my friend Uwerihe talked about it. I must also commend you because your shoes are shining, I was
Sure.
almost making makeup. Using the reflection in your shoes.
Sure.
For maintaining this madness.
Wow.
And Werike has talked about the pushback
Yeah.
by the criminals who drink and drive and kill us and maim us, and commended the police and other agencies, all of us, who are into road safety. And I think this also takes from the recently launched
Annual police crime report,
which brought out the traffic problems very, very clearly. So we have to keep trying.
Sure.
Yeah, we just have to keep trying. Please.
You hinted on the president's tour and tours actually. He just concluded the tour of Ankole sub-region, and do you hope the president will again have another time to do another round across the country, or possibly
No,
this is
the first round of campaigning. This
you call it campaigning?
I think it's the second.
Yeah. He usually does this. You know, like when you are developing an app, for example, you have a beta testing phase. The very first phase of testing what we call the minimum viable project.
Okay.
So the president is testing the minimum viable project, which is his election in 2026. He does this. He did it for Bonaba Gagawale. He did it for Prosperity for All. He did it for Intandikwa. Because it's just a renaming of a program which gives some money to people. Yeah, you put some money in the hands of people. You go to see, quote unquote, but you campaign. So it's been putting. Now, like I told you, for me, I think it does a lot of work. One, it's an intelligence operation. You do political intelligence. You pick who is popular on the ground, what are the issues that you need to put in your manifesto and address, what are the people happy about and unhappy about, and you start. But I think the second thing is you present yourself to the people.
Sure.
Yeah, there are many voters. I think there are 1.8. Wari is the one who is in these things of elections. I think 1.8 million new voters.
Yeah.
You need to introduce yourself to them anyhow. You saw I don't know if you saw, there was a girl who has out of PDM started using perfume, and she has moved away from this Bizigo called, I've forgotten the name also, and now gone to perfume, so she smells better. So these are the new voters you introduce yourself to, and come the real campaign, you are not as constrained as your opponents. But so he will do another round.
And of course, you're also doing the campaign using taxpayers' money, so you will not be over.
That's the advantage of incumbency.
Yeah, but even in the main campaigns, you also use taxpayers' money.
That's the advantage of incumbency. It has disadvantages.
Advantages.
Okay, thank you so much, our viewers. And when that time comes for feedback, we'll need your comments and observations on the issues at hand. Major Team Joel in Chirinya, we salute you, and all other viewers who, of course, participate in this program. But gentlemen, let's go straight to what actually happened during nominations. They were concluded successfully. 10 individuals duly nominated for the Kawempe North constituency seat. 5 of them independents. The major political parties, NRM and NUP, have both flag bearers and independent-leaning candidates in this race, but also being a constituency within the Kampala City metropolitan area, we expect high-stake campaigns, and looking at the events which played out on the first day of nominations, the arrests, the chaos, which actually resulted into serious injuries. A top TV journalist is currently hospitalized. He almost lost his eye. We don't know, but Let me start with you, Dr. Werihe. What impression did you pick from the first day of nominations, looking at the comedy and the chaos? What can we expect?
Apollo, it's good you brought this topic, and for me, it's important that as we kick off this by-election, we need to discuss the issues there. 1 week back, we were here talking about who is really who in that constituency, and I think I clearly stated that NUP has an edge over others in that constituency, and it's still so. If you went to the ground, on the ground there, you'll see that NUP still has an edge over others. I see some political parties have brought good candidates, like Kasacha of the Democratic Party. I know him. I knew him when he was in Frederick Ebert Stiftang. They used to support us capacity building for UPC because we share ideology. We used to share ideology with that German foundation, and he's quite a good candidate. But the ground shows that NUP has an edge over. Then you have the religious factor, which is playing around. Kawempe is largely a Muslim. Kawempe North,
Sure.
a Muslim. You know, the Mbogo families and so forth. So it is a strong Muslim ground that probably candidates of that faith and who also align with the right political party will probably take the day. For me, what was more, there were two things. I looked at some candidates, like my good friend Bishop Engena, the son of Dr. Obote, and I asked him actually that what is it that you are calculating in that constituency, because there's not any path, any clear path. You are campaigning in a place where even the language you don't speak it. I don't know how you are meeting the people.
Yeah, but what I know is that their mother is from Kawempe.
Yeah, sure. The Kalule family, I think, is in with Kawempe. But you know, if you have 4 or 5 uncles and so many other factors are not for you, maybe if there is another calculation or mathematics that we don't know, because in politics there's a lot of how do we call it? A lot of underground games that sometimes we don't understand. But coming to the violence, because that is what struck me the most. Of course, having comedians as candidates, for me, it's not a surprise. That is Kawempe North. It's like me seeing Ruvaga South without a comedian in an election, even a comedian winning an election. But what struck me is the issue of violence.
Yeah.
Because Uganda, we have held direct elections since 1996, when President Museveni started the electoral process. But I thought that almost 30 years later, our democracy should be developing. Unfortunately, we are going into the same cycle of violence. This is an election, but the level of deployment, especially on the day the opposition candidate is going to hold a procession, is unbearable. Because once you deploy, I saw some people wearing masks. Actually, they simply scare to look at them with not ordinary AK-47, but automatic machine guns that you would expect at a war front.
Yeah, sure.
So for me, I really condemn the violence, and I think we need to speak about it early, because it points to what is likely to happen in the general elections. I and my group, we have a political action group called Uganda First. We are saying people should restrain themselves.
Yeah.
It is very bad to use government forces against civilians. This is what the NRS used to speak about. President Museveni, the mustard seed, said he really condemned the violence in politics. And the reason why he took us from Mchaka, like us were, students by then, was to demystify the rule of the gun.
True. That
when you see a gun, someone should not come and intimidate you. That we all learn how to use the gun. So today, if we see the same force which simply changed the name from the NRA to UPDF doing that in an election, not even in the bush, but in Kampala, it is annoying.
Okay.
Actually, it's double standards, because the next day, when the NRM candidate Nambi was heading with a similar procession,
True.
same number of people, borders, riding on a grader, the police is escorting.
Sure.
Then they are saying the other candidate is disrupting traffic. So is the NRM candidate operating in heaven and another one is operating in hell? I think we need a level political ground for us to be able to effectively participate.
Right.
Violence makes people to stay away from electoral processes.
All right.
And that is not good for a country. When people withdraw, you don't know what is boiling in their hearts. So I'm urging all the actors, police, army, please restrain. Also civilians who provoke, also restrain yourselves, so that we can have better politics. We all know what is happening in the DRC, and Uganda has had a fair share of its violence in the past. You know, the other day I saw President Museveni welcoming the family of Joseph Kony in State House 2 days ago. They were there dining.
Yeah.
Now, if you can demonstrate reconciliation by feasting with Joseph Kony's family, then why are you opening wounds in another part of the country?
So your highlight was the violence and skirmishes that were witnessed on the first day of nominations.
Absolutely. In the previous election, we lost over 50 people in Kampala here due to shooting. I wouldn't want a similar thing to happen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Uwerihe Wanzala. And Richard, before I introduce my special guest, what was...
I would appreciate it if you introduce this.
Okay.
So
Okay. Let me
know the full team.
All right.
Thank you.
Viewers, it is my pleasure to introduce Sadat Muchibi. And Sadat Muchibi is now a duly nominated candidate for the Forum for Democratic Change FDC for the Kawempe North by-election. I'm happy and privileged to have you on the show. This is The Dialogue. Speak to our viewers, Mr. Muchibi.
To all the Muslim community in Kawempe, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm so happy to be here at The Dialogue. This is my first time.
Sure.
Apollo, we met the other time. I'm happy. I feel like a win already, being nominated.
Sure. Congratulations.
Thank you. My people of Kawempe are happy for me, and my party is celebrating this nomination. However, we faced some obstacles, just like any other candidates.
Sure.
We were restrained from moving with my supporters. When we reached at the Electoral Commission in Kawempe there, they only gave me only 2 people. I was expecting to move in with my crowd, with my supporters, to witness the nomination, but it wasn't the case. But this all, I condemn the brutality against the journalists, the innocent supporters. But again, I take this opportunity maybe to advise my other candidates. Sometimes sometimes people want sympathy.
Oh.
You've seen people with you're a candidate. You're moving with your crowd, with your supporters. Then the security man tells you, don't go there, go here. You don't follow the direction, and they end up brutalizing you to get sympathy. Sometimes that's how politicians play it, because if you love your supporters, sometimes you have to comply. You have to think about these people. These security agencies, when they come, you have to know why did they come
In the first place.
in the first place.
Why did they violently attack an opposition politician?
Some politicians play a sympathetic.
So you also believe there is comedy, both comedy and chaos in.
Yeah, somehow, because even me when I was leaving, it took me almost 3 hours when I was at the Electoral Commission, tossing me here and there, that they are clarifying my papers, that and that, but it was deliberate, planned. That maybe I spend a lot of time at the Electoral Commission so that my supporters get tired and go away. So that by the time I leave the Electoral Commission, I find no one. But my supporters waited for me. And we were supposed to pass through Buaise and back to Kawempe, Kawempe Kutan. But they blocked us. And I told my supporters, you know what? Let's comply. Let's go. Let's do what they want. Because I don't want anyone I don't want anyone to get brutalized. Let us be easy. We do what they want and we'll go away with it, because I want everyone who came from his home to come and support me. I want them to go back just like they came. I complied, but some politicians, they don't comply.
All right. So Sadat, just quickly, what was that impression that you got from the first day of nominations? Being, I may call you a newcomer into this field of politics. On the first day, seeing those arrests and the brutality, what impression did you get on that first day about this election, this by-election?
It was really a bad impression. It was a bad impression, and I feel sorry for the journalists. And I condemn the brutality against journalists. Maybe you could do that to us, the candidates, because maybe we are the trouble causer. Maybe. I feel like you rather come and brutalize Khalifa as a candidate than an innocent journalist who just came to do his job and go back and report. It was really a bad impression.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sadat Mchibi, candidate now, an FDC candidate in the Kawempe North by-elections. He's a musician turned politician, well known as Aganaga. Richard, tell us, being a precursor to the 2026 elections, what impression did you pick from the first day of nominations and the whole process of nominations at large?
I cannot imagine. I try, but I cannot imagine having a nomination within the lower income neighborhood of Kampala city
As Kawempe.
without some violence.
Sure.
Yeah, I just can't imagine how that one will happen. That you are going to have a nomination in any of the urban neighborhoods of Kampala.
Is it anything to
And
do
you want to have some
with the location? Because
Yeah, because you see, there is no part of the country that has up to 5 million people in a day. In fact, Kampala can combine how many districts? Maybe 20 or 30
Sure.
population-wise. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that even when you have Makerere University students marching, even when you have students of university marching, they reach one day you have violence. There is not a single time they have marched and they have not been violence. So I try to imagine how, at that time when that will happen, that you have a group of young people on a cause and they march through and there's no violence. I don't understand. I'm really hoping that I can see that in my lifetime. So that's the first one. So generally, violence will happen. Looting of shops, the pushing of border borders, throwing words and probably pushing the traffic officer off the road. And amongst themselves, picking phones and bags from people. That is going to happen. That's the first one. But I want us to move from that one. Yeah, but that is, the context is that that's what will happen. And so it will be surprising if it doesn't happen. The second thing is the contestation. The contestation that was the hostility, the contestation that was already existing around the red beret.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Before the
nomination. There were raids, there were arrests, abductions, if you want to call them.
Yeah.
They were already there. So any move to put on a red beret was considered a challenge to authority. And so it had to be dealt with as a challenge to authority. Now, and for the one who is contesting, they also know. But because it is a contestation, you know the risks. But you decide that I'm going to take these risks for whatever cause I am believing in.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have seen people take these risks at different times, including the current people who are in power. So for the cause you stand for, will be the Uganda matters, whatever, people will take those risks, which even can mean loss of their lives. So take the contestation, take the people and their causes, take the context anyway of already existing charged, and take the chaos and whatever within the context. This was bound to happen. Now, you talked about scaring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I come with a mask and putting on like Rambo,
who did?
So what is my intention? If not to scare and intimidate. What is that?
Is it intimidation only, or it's also camouflage to disguise?
Yeah, because
to hide identity.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
With ill intentions.
So I didn't say only. I said intimidate is one of the things. But the second thing is minimize the opportunity for personal retaliation. Yes, because there will be retaliation on this officer, on their wife, on their child, on their mother, on their son. So to minimize the possibility of retaliation on these officers, then you mask them. Because we have seen it happen. Attacks online, attacks physical. So that's the one. And in come the journalists now.
Yeah.
In come the journalists. You see, when you are camouflaging, your intention is to, as much as possible,
to hide your identity.
Exactly. And then you have these guys who are exposing your work.
That's how
Remember, the people who are deployed do not have the judgment. Don't have the judgment to see how dangerous what is being exposed of them can be to them. I saw one of the ministers apologizing.
Yeah, Balam Barugara.
On behalf of government, on behalf of the CDF, on behalf I don't know what. So for how many times are we going to apologize?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, for how long are we going to apologize? So if you come and violate me and you apologize, you come slap me, kick me, you apologize. Tomorrow you come box me and so this apology has no meaning.
We journalists have continued to be collateral damage
and Richard,
in these contestations.
Yeah, but you see, you're not collateral. Collateral means it is on the side. This one. I don't know if you remember the beatings of the journalists at the UN High Commissioner
Yeah.
for Human Rights.
Yeah, yeah.
So these repeated, that's what I'm saying, you see, these repeated brutalizations, for me, they are not collateral.
Okay, but Richard, was this violence necessary, especially on the first day?
Depends on where you are sitting.
As we kick off.
Depends on where you are sitting. I've told you in some of our trainings, as the political journalists, we had people who came to tell us the efficacy of violence in governance processes.
Oh.
It's a science. Ask this doctor, man. He will tell you. It's a science, it's researched, it's written about the tactics, the what. So, depends on where you stand. There is the one who thinks that it is necessary and will deploy it. There are some of us who think it's not necessary.
Dr. Wedhe related to an incident just the next day when the NRM candidate held this almost a bigger procession
To the same venue
to the same venue, but
where the NUP candidate was going.
the security agents escorted her to
So
the
what's
venue.
new about that?
It's not new.
Me, I want somebody to tell me what's new about that. What's new in any campaign about that?
Okay.
The crossing the roads, traffic, having people ride recklessly. When you're putting on yellow, you ride recklessly and you go.
You didn't speak about you didn't speak about the comedy.
No, when he talked proper about the comedy, he said there are two constituencies where he would be shocked if there was no comedy.
Oh.
One is that constituency of Munyagwa. Isn't that the one?
No.
That one.
Munyagwa is Kawempe.
Yeah, it's
house.
Kawempe. It's Kawempe. So he said Kawempe. I'm following up and I agree with him. The Red Segrinya, that one. And he said Rubaga.
Oh.
He said also he would be surprised if Rubaga elections ended without comedy. So I don't want us to talk about these things as if they are from Mars.
Finally, from you on this issue, are these signals for what we must expect in 2026?
No, these are not, in my view, they are not as brutal
As
what
we should expect.
These are like trial runs.
Sure.
What? So why would anybody not expect that it will be brutal in 2026? If it was brutal in 2021, what has changed that would make you believe that it will not be brutal?
Let me ask Khalifa, did you expect all this?
Oh, by the way, remember I said I want to have coffee with this man.
Oh, yeah.
That's
All right.
2 weeks ago I was here and when they said Karfa Aganaga, I said I don't know that one. Then I went to read about him. The man has attempted to stand somewhere else on another part.
True.
So I want to thank you for bringing him. Now we are going to have.
All right. Khalifa, did you expect all this as you contemplated joining politics anyway? This context, the contest in Kawempe?
The 50-50. What has been happening before, comparing to what is happening now, there is no difference.
Yeah.
I've seen Dr. Kizza Besigye for a long time being treated the same way. I've seen Honorable Kyagulanyi being treated the same way.
True.
So anyone who comes in opposition and is a threat, there is a way how they are always treated. And I came and I'm ready for it. Because I said, my people are suffering. I can't just enjoy my music. These people have supported me from nothing to where I am. So this is like a sacrifice. And I was even expecting so much more. From the moment they said no processions, I said, this is tricky. Because sometimes I move from my home when I'm alone. By the time I reach at the stage, a crowd is following me. Okay, maybe not as a politician, but as a musician. Because for us musicians, we always hide to have value. But now this is the time when
You must go to the people.
I must go to the people. I'm exposing myself to the people. So I felt like, yeah, I'm going to be a threat to these people. I need to be strong. And I know I'm expecting so much more.
You are expecting much more violence?
Yeah. Because we've seen it that anyone who comes, when he's on the opposition side, the treatment is not always good. But someone from the ruling party, like NRM, just like my colleague has stressed it out, Honorable Nambi did the same with the procession. The security was protecting her. The traffic was controlling people. But to me, it wasn't the same.
I heard the police spokesperson saying you had been given ground rules for these nominations. I call them ground, but they are guidelines for nominations that you have to come with one or two people, nominator, is it nominator, and seconder for this process. Was it the case that possibly was the genesis for all this violence
at the
and
electoral
chaos?
commission? At the electoral commission.
Or at
the premises of the electoral commission.
Yeah, okay.
But how about me coming with my people from the pitch? When we reach at the electoral commission, I tell them, you know, guys, wait for me outside. But even they didn't even give me that chance to move with my people. But the rules were, or the directives were, when you reach at the electoral commission, come with only 2 people.
Okay.
Which we did. It's just that other people that accompanied me were the journalists. And we took a lot of time explaining to the security, you know, these people are doing their job. This is what they're supposed to do. Please leave them to enter. Yeah.
So you said you expect more violence.
Yeah, more violence, I know.
Going forward, because the campaigns are starting anyhow.
Yeah, political violence, because these people see us as a threat. Maybe they feel like we should be at their side. You tell me how they feel when they see a musician pulling crowds, but not on their side. For them, they pay people. They pay borders.
Who? The organizers of those musical events?
No. The other side.
Okay.
The other side. Okay, let me say the NRM people.
Okay.
They pay. Even the youth, some of my youths called me, man, these guys called us that they're going to give us 10. We go to there.
When you're organizing a concert?
No, when I'm not organizing a concert. But I'm saying the ruling party, because they lost the ground, people no longer believe in them. Now it's like they are bribing them. But me as a musician, people, it's God-given. I pull the crowds without even bribing anyone, not giving anyone a penny. But for them...
So it is a contestation of crowds. They want people. They want
people.
Pomp.
So we're a big threat to them. And I know a lot is going to happen. But I just want to tell them that we are ready for anything.
Thank you so much, Khalifa. And Khalifa is a stage name. He's Sadati Muchibi, FDC candidate in the Kawempe North by-election. My name is Prince Apollo. We still have 10 minutes to conclude partly on this issue, but we're still looking at the events which played out during the nominations, being regarded as a precursor for the 2026. What can we expect? And now the campaigns have started, I think. When a campaign is starting for this by-election?
They are starting today.
Today.
And we're starting with Chevando.
Yeah. So the campaigns have started, and we don't know what we can expect. Dr. Gerard Wanzala, quickly, we look at a by-election, but what can we expect now on the side of the campaigns? Can we this time hear people or candidates speak about issues, or it will be comedy as usual, like you said? It will be empty promises. What can we expect from this by-election?
Yeah, I've seen candidates who are trying to talk about the issues, but of course these issues will not sound, they will not come out, because what is happening in that constituency right now is a demonstration of might, demonstration of might and strength, that to show the sitting government that you are useless, we don't want you anymore, and we are willing
it's a protest
to defeat you. Exactly, that's what I'm seeing in that constituency. While there are forces within government who are saying that, but we also have coercive state institutions, we have the resources, okay, you can defeat us, but we can also do harm on you. So the issues that affect the people of Kawempe are not necessarily going to come out.
Sure.
But like you know, if you have been around Kampala, we have had the Besigye wave, we have had the Bobby Wine wave, the Sebagala wave, that when these waves come around, you rarely listen to what people are saying, but the alignment, which group do you ally with, is what matters. I have had people complain last time we were with the DP Electoral Commission chairperson here, who are saying that the quality of representation has deteriorated around Kampala, or even within the Uganda region. They seem to think that the quality of the people they used to have in legislation, in parliament, has gone down. But of course, this is what the waves do. The waves are there for people to just move with the side that they believe maybe is advocating for what they want. And like you said, if the violence is starting now, before even the influencers go there, I can assure that the day Bobby Wine is going to have a procession in that area,
a full blast campaign.
Yes,
area.
we are likely to see, violence. I come from Chira municipality. Bobby Wine went for prayers in a home of Musisi, one of
George.
the council Musi, who is aspiring to unseat the Honorable Semuju. And that same evening, we saw people beaten, kicked, and people were hospitalized. Others kidnapped. So now Kawempe is even more congested than the other area we are talking about. So for me, I'm not going to see a very smooth ride in this election. But hinting on what Richard said, there are certain apologies that are really annoying. And then, like you say, an apology, then you say President Museveni is going to cater for the bills. This money that is going to treat the journalists is the taxes that I pay.
Yeah, it's taxpayers' money.
I painfully pay. And when I pay tax, it doesn't mean that you should go and beat and break a journalist's back. Then me, the taxpayer, I foot the bills. First of all, the gun you used to threaten him was mine. Me, the taxpayer who bought it. I'm the one who pays the police, the soldier, the salary. Now you break someone's back and you use my money again to treat the person. Maybe if we say we go and sell someone's private property to treat these people, I think we need to pull back and think.
All right.
We are all citizens of this country. We should respect each other.
Sure. Thank you so much, viewers. You can also be part of this discussion. Send in your comments and observations via WhatsApp, via SMS. The number will run on the screen. Tell us what you think about the events which played out during nominations in Kawempe North. The chaos, the comedy, the violence, but also tell us what you think the campaigns will be like. Will we this time hear candidates speak about real issues that affect the people, or it will be the same script of comedy, of violence, as it has been over the years? We still have 5 minutes, and I expect those messages to be coming in. Richard, what can we expect this time? as campaigns now go full blast?
I think for me it is to think about what we mean by issues. Yeah, because what are issues? How can I be a candidate and my shirt has been torn and that's not an issue?
Oh,
How can that not be an issue? How can I not use that if it gives me political advantage? So as far as I'm concerned, the understanding of issues between some of us before cameras and microphones or our keyboard, we call them keyboard generals. Somebody says keyboard generals.
yeah.
I think we have a different understanding of the issues from the people who are in the theater, in the real theater. You see, Mr. Mchibi here tells you he's expecting
Violence.
to eat a few grams of tear gas. Yeah, he's already preparing himself to consume a few grams of tear gas. Now, if we don't consider that an issue,
Yeah, true.
I think that is a critical and important issue. It's an issue that has an overall impact on democracy, if at all it exists, on governance, and on, by the way the people will behave towards the government institutions and government servants, especially those in uniform. So I think that's critical.
Sadat, in just 2 minutes before we go for a break, as you head into these campaigns, what do you expect? Are you going to address the real issues that affect the people of Kawempe, or we will see comedy? What can we expect?
No comedy. I think I've done enough comedy in the music industry. Now this is about addressing the issues affecting my people in Kawempe. The unemployment, poverty, poor garbage disposal, the poor status of the health sector, the injustice against the youths who spend more of the time in the ghettos, people working alongside the roads, how they are brutalized, how the cases is treating them. So me, even if you come and beat me, kick me, if I'm injured, I'll go to the hospital, come back, get on the microphone, talk about the issues affecting my people. I'm not coming in the camera crying, I want sympathy. I don't want sympathy. Even if they beat me, this is a sacrifice. And I know this is we call it a struggle. I can't take it on a silver plate. Everything comes with a price. Maybe that's the price I have to pay for my people to get the freedom they want. So even if you come and beat me, even if you come and do anything, I'm expecting all that. But at the end of the day, I'll come on the mic and tell my people, look, we are unemployed. We are unemployed. The education sector is suffering. Poverty. I'll still come and address the issues, not sympathy.
Are the people of Kawempe ready to hear that message? Because you may have such a good message for them, but the people are like your colleague here, and doctor said, the people are, I mean, they are looking at it as a protest vote, and they don't want to hear maybe about issues of healthcare or what. For them, they have other issues.
Yes, they have other issues, I understand. But they also want to see a leader who's addressing the problems they are facing. I'm not this kind of politician who's going to come and say, in every statement I make, Museveni, you are bad, Museveni, you are bad. Okay, yes, Museveni, you are bad. but other people are surviving
Yeah, true.
in this bad
In
government.
the bad government, sure.
So I'm looking for ways and strategies to see how my people are going to also to survive. Because I'm not going to wait until when Museveni goes.
Yeah,
You get it?
yeah,
So this is like, you have a patient who has cancer. And you have your kid, you have your child is a student is a medical student,
yeah.
but not yet graduated, has no certificate. Are you going to wait until when they graduate?
Not sure. Our time is running out. We'll go for a break. And Kalifaga Naga, stage name, but real names Sadat Muchibi, now a duly nominated candidate in the Kawempe North by-election, is with us. Richard Baguma, a communication expert, but also political and social issues, a commentator on political and social issues, but also Dr. Gerard Wadehe Wanzala is with us. Let's go for a short break. When we return, we'll look at your comments and observations, but also continue to probe what we must expect this time as campaigns kick off in Kawempe North, but also what we expect as we head into a crucial 2026 general election. This time round, has democracy improved? Can we say we are moving forward, or we've stagnated, or maybe we're sliding backwards?